Welcome to Philosophy Vibe. My name is George, and today I wanted to do a video that focuses on what I think are the best writers and books that have a strong focus on political philosophy. Now, some of you may have seen the previous videos I've done where I list the best philosophical fiction novels, as well as novels with strong metaphysical themes. So this time, I want to focus on the best novels with strong political philosophy themes. So we're focusing on books that come with a lot of stories, discussions, critiques that center around political ideologies, economic ideologies, even culture and general social climates. Now, how I want to approach this video, I want to give my list of the top 4 authors that specialize in this field of political philosophy themed novels. And then I'll give my top 2 recommendations of books from each of these authors that you should read. I'll give a brief description of each book as well as the general storyline, but I won't be giving any spoilers. So if you want to dive into political philosophy and you want to read some amazing fictional books that will wrap you up in this heated, passionate discourse along with a great riveting story, watch this video and use this list and go through all these books. And with that, let's begin. Starting first with Ray Bradbury. A 20th century American author, he really needs a spot on this list. Bradbury is an amazing writer. He can blend political philosophy so well into his novels with general social commentary, as well as even bringing in science fiction themes too. He is responsible for one of the best all-time political philosophical fiction books, and that is Fahrenheit 451, a definite recommendation for you all to read. This 1953 book is set in a dystopian future where all books are in fact banned, and there is a government department of firemen whose job it is to track down all books and burn them. The protagonist, Guy Montag, works for this department. However, one day, instead of burning a book, Guy decides to steal it and read it, and after reading it, Guy starts becoming disillusioned and frustrated with the world he lives in and his role in it. Now, this is a powerful book with political philosophy themes around authoritarianism, censorship, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and government control. This ticks all the main boxes of heavy political themes that you want in a book and comes with a great story, great writing, and great characters. The second book from Bradbury I want to recommend is The Martian Chronicles, another of his world-class works, a fantastic story. This is essentially a science fiction book that focuses on humans exploring and attempting to colonize the planet Mars. The book focuses on different expeditions and events and encounters with the native Martians over a 27-year period. This is a really gripping book. The change in expeditions and characters almost feels like it's a collection of short novels, keeping you constantly engaged and intrigued. Parts of the book feel mysterious. You find yourself really thinking about it, and it becomes an absolute page-turner. The main themes in this book are around imperialism, colonization, immigration, and cultural clashes. So, a really awesome read and a really great blend of sci-fi with political philosophy. The next author I want to focus on is Ayn Rand, the Russian-American writer and a really controversial author. People have a lot of strong opinions on her, but there is no doubt, whether you agree with Rand or not, her books are packed with political philosophy themes, and as a writer, she generates the most debates and discussions. I've reviewed her books in other videos, and the amount of comments I've received on her alone was staggering. So if you want novels that focus on political philosophy, you have to make time for Ayn Rand. Now, one book that needs to be on your list is the 1957 novel Atlas Shrugged. Very famous and very popular, this book is about a dystopian United States of America that's really struggling. Private businesses all across the country, as well as the national economy, are crumbling due to government regulations and control. The story follows the railroad executive called Dagny Taggart and a steel executive called Hank Rearden and their fight back against the national legislators. The main political philosophy themes in this book are all around socialism versus capitalism, individualism versus collectivism, government control and overreach. Now, this is very much an anti-socialist book, so if you are left-leaning in your political views, still read it. It's engaging. It will fuel your desire for debate and discussion and help you generate stronger opinions. I also think it's an interesting story with good characters. So yes, I do recommend this as a great political philosophy novel. In addition to this, I would also recommend Anthem. Published in 1937, this book is set in a dark future where all individuality of all people has completely been stripped and eliminated. All people are forced into a life of communal living with no personal freedom and no personal identity allowed. All technological advancement is carefully planned and fully controlled. However, one young man named Equality 7-2521 rebels against this tyrannical system and starts thinking for himself and begins conducting his own secret scientific research. This is a powerful, eerie and chilling book that will stick in your mind. The main themes of this novel are around collectivism versus individualism, state control and authoritarianism. So a really hard-hitting political philosophy novel and definitely one you should have on your list. Moving on, and another author that needs to be on your list for political philosophical fiction is the great Aldous Huxley. He is responsible for a catalogue of amazing works, but his social commentary built into the most wonderful stories make him an absolute powerhouse when it comes to philosophical fiction. He is responsible for one of the greatest dystopian novels ever written, and that is Brave New World, an absolute world-class novel that needs to be on all your lists. Written in 1931, almost 100 years later, this book is still so relevant and so referenced. Brave New World is about a dystopian, futuristic society of a world state where all humans are genetically engineered and created in labs. They are indoctrinated, controlled and conditioned to fulfill specific roles and fit into a specific caste system. Individuality, emotions and relationships are all suppressed and bodily hedonism is promoted. We are met with different characters suffering existential problems from living in this brave new world. Now, the story is just amazing. It's a real page turner. Your eyes will be glued to this novel, and it's absolutely packed with political philosophy themes. We have a focus on individualism, hedonism, collectivism, totalitarianism and government control, technological tyranny, and social stability and the pursuit of happiness. This is one of the greatest political philosophy novels of all time, and it has to be on your list. As well as this, from Huxley, you need to check out Island, another superb book, his final book written in 1963. The Island focuses on the utopian society of Parla. It follows Will Farnaby, an English journalist who arrives at Parla for research, but soon discovers that the people of Parla have in fact created their own utopia. Farnaby falls in love with Parla, the people and their way of life. However, the island is in fact in jeopardy. The island will assume a new leader, a child who has been largely raised and educated outside of Parla and despises Parla and the culture, and is looking at radical changes on the island and to perhaps sell oil rights to large companies. A wonderful book. It really deals a lot with spiritualism, and when you're reading this book, you too will feel close to Parla and their way of life, and it really draws you in. And with the strong spiritual themes that you get, you also get the political philosophy themes around democracy and corruption, capitalism and consumerism. A top novel by Huxley. Definitely make time for this. Okay, so we've gone through 3 world-class authors for political philosophy novels and their top 2 must-read novels each. I'm about to reveal the absolute best in this field, but before I do, I did want to mention a book by Philosophy Vibe that I think this audience would really appreciate. Now, you're watching this video because you have a philosophical mind and appreciate books with deep themes. So, please check out Requisite Release. This is a philosophical novel written for a philosophical audience. The story follows Simon, a young man battling severe depression and undergoing a major existential crisis. Simon no longer sees any purpose or meaning to life. His nihilistic worldview has consumed him, and as a result, he has become a social recluse, developed debilitating anxiety, and destroyed all significant relationships. Simon is recommended to undergo cognitive behavioral therapy and begins seeing the therapist Linda, who is tasked with trying to help put his life back on track. The book is a compilation of Linda's therapy session notes and Simon's journal log. This is the story of a young man's journey of self-creation and the search for meaning in an absurd universe. If you are watching this video, then you are a person interested in philosophy, deep themes and thought-provoking material. This is definitely the book for you. It is available worldwide on Amazon, the links are below, and all purchases really help out this channel and we really do appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. Philosophy Vibe's best author for political philosophical fiction is none other than the great George Orwell. The 20th century British writer has definitely gone down in history as not only one of the best writers of all time, but has produced the best novels on political philosophy. Orwell is a master in writing. Every word on his page has been perfectly placed. He keeps you engaged and gripped onto every paragraph, onto every sentence. His stories are amazing. His characters are wonderfully created, and this has resulted in masterpiece after masterpiece, but most notably is his novel 1984. This book was published in 1949 and has embedded itself in the cultural zeitgeist. To this day, this novel is used as a cautionary tale. People use this novel almost as a guide and a warning for when their governments get out of control. It's like the benchmark, the manual of what to look out for, and it has definitely gone down as the greatest political philosophy novel of all time. The novel is set in a dystopian 1984. Great Britain is absorbed into Oceania, a superstate governed by the totalitarian regime led by Big Brother, who exerts absolute control over every facet of life, with omniscience over all actions, complete knowledge on what everyone is doing. The eye of Big Brother is everywhere. Telescreens and pervasive surveillance enforce strict obedience with countless rules, regulations, and prohibited behaviours stifling any semblance of freedom. The story follows Winston Smith, a government employee who resents Big Brother's oppressive rule and yearns for liberty and independence. This book will really resonate with anyone interested in political philosophy. It will bring up so many emotions. You'll be thinking about it constantly after you've read it, and it will stay with you for life. It will forever serve as a warning and will always affect your relationship with the state. The main political philosophical themes in this book are around authoritarianism, totalitarianism and government control, government oppression, individualism, liberty, thought control, and political dogmatism. This ticks all the boxes in terms of great story, great writing, great characters, and powerful political themes. In addition to 1984, the other masterpiece by George Orwell that you have to read is the 1945 novella Animal Farm. This is another powerful political philosophy novel that reflected the Russian Revolution and its development into Stalinism. The book is focused on animals living on the badly run manor farm. They eventually expel the farmer and take control of the farm. They attempt to create a communist society with all animals being equal. But slowly, problems start arising with how the communist farm is being managed. This book has strong political philosophical themes around communism, socialism, Marxism and Stalinism, as well as broader themes around corruption, totalitarianism and classism. This is a short but direct read. It deals with such powerful subjects, but because its characters are anthropomorphic animals, it's almost like a children's novel. It's not, but the whimsy of the animals dealing with such huge political themes makes it such a marvelous, unique book, and definitely one that has to be on your list if you are interested in political, philosophical fiction. So, there you go. 4 authors and 8 books you need to go through to get the very best in political philosophical fiction. I hope you enjoyed this video, and what are your thoughts? Are there any books or authors that you would have included on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, if you want a great philosophical fiction read, then grab yourself a copy of Requisite Release. The book's available on Amazon and the links are below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share, and for more philosophical debates and discussions, please subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I hope to see you all soon.